the Dolphins a chance? We'll see if NFL.com's Pat Kerwin is the first one to do it this weekend. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, NFL.com's Pat Kerwin. Glad to be with you on the NFL previews presented by Comcast. The Dolphins, hey, they are not winless. Of course, we talked about this last week. That really upset our director, Tom Curley. But that's okay. They still have a win, and they play the Patriots. Pat, it's kind of ironic that this game will set up the opportunity for the Patriots to go undefeated, where the Dolphins, the 72 Dolphins, have a little bit to worry about. Let's compare the two teams right now.
Sure.
The 72 Dolphins, they were 14-0. The Patriots, they're the only other team in NFL history to go 14-0. And, of course, there you see the winning streak. Obviously, the Patriots have put up a lot more points, but the Dolphins, their defense was better.
Well, it was a different era altogether, and people were running the ball all the time. They were being third down, something the average fan today would really find bizarre. It'd be third down. They still have a fullback in the game and a halfback, two in the backfield, a tight end, and two receivers. They wouldn't change the personnel grouping. The modern fan looks out on third down, and he sees the situation substitutions. He's seeing 3 and 4 wides. That's not how they played the game back then. So it was easier to hold people down, and it wasn't as easy to score points. So I think we're in a much different era. So the points to me are pretty close if you think about the era we're in.
It's tough to break down this game head-to-head because at this point in the season, it's almost pointless because of the fact that the Dolphins are 1-13 and they're not a good football team, and the Patriots are up there as maybe one of the top 5 football teams of all time, and we'll see if they go undefeated. That's still to be determined. But what isn't pointless is looking forward here for the Patriots, because what we saw last week against the weather, they struggled. Sure. Tom Brady certainly struggled the first time this season. He didn't throw a touchdown pass. But what we saw was they can run the football again. Lawrence Maroney had a great game.
We talked about that about 6 straight weeks, where someday soon you're going to see the running game take over. So what do we see from Maroney? We see 26 carries, 4 yards a carry, 100 yards. Now, we haven't seen him with over 20 carries since the first week of the season. So it's good to see. They got 2 games in bad weather or cold weather or what we'd call northeast weather this week and next week in New York. So we could see Maroney get another 25 carries easy in the next 2 games, and it's something you want to do to the Miami defense, which is not very good against the run. Why put yourself in a position to have to try to block Jason Taylor when you can run right at the teeth of this thing where Zach Thomas used to be and he's no longer, and just run the ball down there? So I think you're going to see 25 carries out of Maroney and a few more from Kevin Falk. How about the Patriots with a 30 running carries a game? And that's what I think we're going to see.
Of course, that's not what we saw earlier in the season when they won 49-28 in Miami.
Right.
But, Tom Brady, we'll see what the weather holds up. But Tom Brady, he's 4 touchdowns away from tying Peyton Manning for the all-time mark in a single season. Randy Moss, again, we've talked about this last week. He's 3 touchdowns away from tying Jerry Rice for the all-time mark in a single season, and obviously both those guys going to the Pro Bowl. All right, let's throw all the numbers in and see what the computer can possibly come up with. We haven't had 100% to nothing yet at AccuScore this season. Let's see if the computer does it. 10,000 mathematical tests. It doesn't. Gives the Dolphins a 4% chance of victory. Where did they get 4%?
I'm so glad you asked me. They got that 4% because the computer knows that the tuna has signed on with the Dolphins, and the tuna's going to be sitting up there with his arms folded like this, deciding who he's going to cut in 2 weeks. You will see guys on that football team play very hard now that they know Bill Parcells is in town with the hammer, and some of them are going to have to go. Do they play well enough to win? No. I talked to Junior Seau today. Junior said, we're not taking these guys lightly. We know Tuna's up there evaluating them. We know they're going to play hard, and they're a division opponent who's been a problem for us. The Patriots will play very hard. Guess what? The Patriots practice outside in the snow all week, and the Dolphins don't have any snow down in South
No, they're
Florida.
playing flag football on the beach. That's what the Miami Dolphins are doing right now.
You don't play hard this week. If you don't play hard this week, you will be playing flag football on the beach because Parcells will run you out of there.
Although maybe they're still celebrating on the beach from last week's victory against the Baltimore Ravens, but that's a different team for a different topic. Folks, for more on this game or any other, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com and watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. It kicks off at 4:15 p.m. Eastern on CBS. For NFL.com's Pat Kerwin, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care.